How did India, once a colony, transform into the world's fastest-growing economy? The answer lies in a tale of resilience and transformative change that began in the colonial era. In the mid-18th century, Britain, a rising power, set its sights on India, a land of plentiful resources and vast potential. The British East India Company, driven by profit and power, quickly established control, exploiting India's wealth and reshaping the country's destiny. This period saw the introduction of several key advancements. Modern education, for instance, provided a new generation of Indians with the tools to understand and challenge colonial rule. The railways, while initially constructed to enhance British control, ultimately connected India like never before, fostering trade and unity. The press, another British introduction, became a platform for Indians to voice their concerns and rally against oppression. Yet, beneath these silver linings, the clouds of exploitation loomed large. India's economy, once a global powerhouse, was reduced to a supplier of raw materials and a market for British goods. The prosperity of the British Empire was built on the impoverishment of India, causing widespread poverty and famine. The Indian Rebellion of 1857, often termed India's first war of independence, was a direct response to these injustices. Fueled by discontent and a longing for freedom, the uprising marked a turning point in India's colonial history. Though unsuccessful, it sowed the seeds of resistance, setting the stage for a struggle that would eventually lead to independence. The British Raj, or rule, ended in 1947, but its impact is still felt today. It left behind a mixed legacy, a complex tapestry of progress and devastation. Modern infrastructure and institutions laid a foundation for growth, while economic exploitation and divisive policies created deep scars of poverty and division. With the end of the British Raj in 1947, India was left with a mixed legacy, a foundation for growth, but also a country scarred by poverty and division. This was the starting point for India's journey from colony to economic powerhouse. The story of this transformation, however, is a tale for another chapter. The struggle for freedom was not easy, but it led to the birth of a new nation. India's journey to independence was marked by an extraordinary movement that struck a chord across the globe. This movement was led by none other than Mahatma Gandhi, a figure who, with his philosophy of non-violent resistance, became synonymous with India's fight for freedom. His strategy of satyagraha, or truth force, challenged the oppressive British rule not with guns or revolt, but with peaceful protests and civil disobedience. This approach was revolutionary, and it brought together millions of Indians, irrespective of their caste, religion, or social standing, to join the fight for freedom. However, Gandhi was not alone in this endeavor. Other prominent leaders such as Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhas Chandra Bose, and Vallabhbhai Patel played pivotal roles in shaping the course of the independence movement. This unity and diversity was embodied in the Indian National Congress, which became a beacon of hope for the oppressed masses and a formidable opponent to the colonial rule. The dawn of August 15, 1947, brought with it the sweet taste of freedom, but it also carried the bitter pill of partition. The Indian subcontinent was divided into two separate nations, India and Pakistan, a split that led to one of the largest mass migrations in human history. The economic and social implications of this event were monumental, causing a massive upheaval that left deep scars on the newly born nations. The partition resulted in economic disarray, with severed trade routes and a heavy toll on the population. Socially, it led to communal tensions and violence that claimed countless lives. Yet amidst these trials and tribulations, India remained resolute. Despite the tumultuous start, India embarked on a journey of self-governance and economic recovery. This journey was not without its challenges, but the spirit of resilience and unity that had won India its freedom now became the driving force behind its quest for progress and prosperity. Post-independence, India adopted a socialist-inspired economic model, but was it sustainable? Let's take a closer look. With its newfound freedom in 1947, India chose to tread the path of a planned economy, a system where every aspect of economic activity was controlled by the state. This period, often referred to as the License Raj, spanned from 1947 to 1991. Under the License Raj, starting a business or expanding existing operations required an elaborate web of licenses, regulations, and red tape. It was a Herculean task to navigate through this bureaucratic maze, stifling innovation and entrepreneurship. The intention was to protect domestic industries from foreign competition, but the reality was a sluggish economy characterized by inefficiency and low growth. Then came the early 90s, a period marked by a severe economic crisis. In 1991, India found itself on the brink of bankruptcy, with foreign exchange reserves barely enough to cover 3 weeks of essential imports. The crisis was a wake-up call for the nation, and it prompted some much-needed introspection. Recognizing the need for change, the government embarked on a series of radical economic reforms. These reforms ushered in a new era of liberalization, privatization, and globalization, often referred to as LPG reforms. The license Raj was dismantled, restrictions on foreign direct investment were eased, and many sectors were opened up to private players. The impact was immediate and transformative. The economy started to liberalize, entrepreneurs thrived, and foreign investments flowed in. India's GDP growth rate, which had hovered around 3 to 4% during the license Raj era, began to rise steadily, hitting a high of nearly 9% by the end of the decade. These reforms marked a turning point, setting India on the path to becoming a global economic powerhouse. The story of India's economic transformation is a testament to the power of change and the resilience of a nation. It shows us that sometimes it takes a crisis to spark a revolution. And in India's case, this revolution led to an economic renaissance that continues to this day. The late 90s and early 2000s saw India riding the wave of the IT revolution. It wasn't just a wave, it was a tsunami of opportunity that forever altered the landscape of the Indian economy. As the world was becoming more interconnected and digitized, India was perfectly poised to take advantage of the IT boom. The country had a large, educated, English-speaking workforce ready to meet the global demand for IT services. At the forefront of this revolution were Indian IT giants, Infosys and Tata Consultancy Services, or TCS. These companies didn't just ride the IT wave, they were the wave. Infosys, founded in the 80s, and TCS in the 60s, had already established themselves as leaders in the field. But it was during the IT boom that they really made their mark. Their success wasn't just about profits and market shares, it was about creating jobs, boosting the middle class, and changing the face of Indian cities. Bangalore, the Silicon Valley of India, transformed from a quiet pensioner's paradise to a bustling metropolis filled with gleaming IT parks and high-rise apartments. This wasn't unique to Bangalore. Cities across the country were seeing similar transformations. The IT boom didn't just attract domestic investment, it also brought in foreign investment. Multinational companies, enticed by India's IT prowess and cost-effective solutions, set up shop in India. This increased foreign direct investment, or FDI, played a pivotal role in stabilizing and growing the Indian economy. The ripple effects of the IT boom were felt across sectors. It spurred growth in the real estate, hospitality, and retail sectors, among others. It also led to a surge in entrepreneurship, with many IT professionals branching out to start their own ventures. The IT revolution was a game-changer, propelling India onto the global stage. It was a catalyst that transformed India from a developing economy to one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. It laid the groundwork for the India we know today, a global IT hub and an economic powerhouse. Today, India is one of the world's fastest-growing economies, but what does the future hold? As we delve into the present, India stands tall as the world's fifth-largest economy, a testament to its remarkable journey from colonial rule to economic prowess. Yet, as with any nation, India faces its fair share of challenges. The most immediate, perhaps, is its burgeoning population. Since 2023, India has been the most populous country in the world. While this provides a vast labor force, the strain on resources and infrastructure cannot be overlooked. However, within this challenge lies an opportunity. India is the youngest country in the world, with a median age of 29 years. This youthful workforce is not just abundant, but also increasingly educated and tech-savvy. It presents a massive potential for economic growth, provided they are equipped with the right skills and opportunities. Innovation and entrepreneurship play a pivotal role in harnessing this potential. Today, India is home to the third-largest startup ecosystem in the world. From fintech to e-commerce, Indian startups are disrupting traditional sectors and creating new avenues for employment. The government, too, is fueling this spirit of entrepreneurship through initiatives like the Startup India campaign. Yet for India to truly capitalize on its demographic dividend, it needs to address critical issues like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. These form the bedrock of a prosperous society and are key to sustaining long-term economic growth. In the realm of technology, India has already made its mark. It's now time for it to make similar strides in other sectors. With its rich cultural heritage and the indomitable spirit of its people, India is well positioned to overcome these challenges and continue on its upward trajectory. India's journey from a colony to a global economic powerhouse is a story of resilience and transformation. The future holds immense potential, but also significant challenges. Only time will tell how this fascinating story unfolds.